Hey guys, it is Targon here doing another Raid Shadow Legends video, and today I want to just kind of real quickly go through and cover some of the team compositions that I've used to beat some of the Doom Tower hard floors here on the Eternal Dragon. I probably should have, hopefully next time I'll have more time and be able to get a video for each one of these, but as you can see, we are going to reset here pretty soon, so I know most of you won't see this in time for this current rotation that I'm on, but maybe in a couple months when this rotation comes back up again, you'll find this video to be helpful in terms of just giving you ideas for teams that can help you make it through these secret rooms, which honestly, like, secret rooms, some of these are just so ridiculously hard. They take a lot of time because you got to use specific champions, and I don't really enjoy it all the time. Like this one, I've beaten this before, but it takes so long, and it's so tedious that I'm not doing it this time around. The HP champs, um, but so um, this first one, Epic Champions Only. This is fairly easy one. And I want to do champion guides for all these Epic Champions. So this one, there's plenty of Epic Champions you could use, right? Like you can use Deacon Armstrong. You can use Tyrell, like on my alt account. Tyrell is kind of like one of my go-tos. Ugo is a great champion in terms of just blocking buffs and putting the drop defense up. And that's really helpful because I think Talia does like a counterattack thing, and there's some other champions in here that are putting buffs on, so blocking those is helpful. Doom Priest to cleanse debuffs. Um, anything where you can use Doom Priest. Doom Priest is kind of a good go-to. I'm hoping that this one doesn't give you too much issues. But Melga Steel Girl is a great epic reviver champion. She does a shield, she does continuous heals, so she really can help just carry you through. I think I just put this team together and just hit start and let it go through. This is just kind of a tank team. There's not much damage. This is one where I just click it and walk away and come back later and collect the rewards. Um, so hopefully you don't have too much trouble with this one, but these are the types of champions. Stag Knight's dropping attack, Ugo's dropping defense, Doom Priest is cleansing and healing, as are and we got Melga and Godseeker are reviving and healing as well. So that is kind of just the route that I went for that floor there. Again, I skipped the second one. Third floor, we've got Force Attack champions. So now I am using Basilius here. He does an AoE stun, which is so essential, so helpful. Thalicia has her decreased defense AoE skill, as does Cecia. So they help me in terms of getting the damage that I need much quicker. This is kind of one of those ones where you don't want to be going around too long because let's face it, like, your attack champions are squishy, and if they get hit by other attack champions in hard Doom Tower, they're gonna drop. So you gotta find a way where you can get through this without taking much damage. And so that's kind of the idea behind this team. So decreased defense lets me damage them faster. He's doing stuns. And then I'm using Shatterbones. Shatterbones, I think, is one of the more underrated champions. I might do a series on it or do a video on him. But he has an AoE drop turn meter, which is really helpful. And he also can decrease their speed on another skill, which also boosts your turn meter. So between those two things, and then combining that with Basilius's stuns, um, that's how I was able to get through this. Other option, honestly, you could just do a bunch of Geomancers and stun sets. Might be able to help you get through it there. But so really realistically probably having some of these champions. Again, Thalicia is really helpful here with third drop defense and so forth. So that was that floor. Let's see, what's the floor? I never do these rare ones just because I don't want to build more rare champions just to complete a Doom Tower floor. Some people do. That's great. For me, it's like I'll get the Doom Tower champions eventually, right? Secret Room 5, we've got champions from Ogryn Tribes faction only. Now, this is a faction. I have not pulled a single legendary champion from this faction. So I am stuck with epics, and I'm actually using Bellower to decrease attack. And he also is nice because he puts their skills on cooldown. Now, I have Bellower built as my campaign farmer, so he's meant to kind of go fast and hit hard, but you could run him. He's a great candidate for a stun set, so if you're really struggling with this, then throw him in a stun set, and that might really help you get through. Biggest one here, though, is Ugo, because, I mean, you got Maneater. You guys probably know Maneater, right? He's putting unkillable buffs on. We got Shamrock putting, revive on death up. And both of those you don't really want going on. So using Ugo to block the buffs, again, is just essential. Urogrim, if you're fortunate enough to have Urogrim, he's really helpful just because he puts the poisons out. He's also going to put heals on my team. I don't have any revivers in this faction, so making sure that I have healing and making sure that the fight doesn't go on too long with the unkillable and revives and so forth. Then I also use Skull Crusher. He's got the ally protect, but the big thing is he's doing the counter attacks, which just helps me do damage that much quicker. And again, Shatterbones, doing a little turn meter manipulation, really helps me to outpace them, so that way I'm getting my skills, the heals from Urogrim, the block debuffs from Ugo, make sure that I'm able to cycle through all that fast enough to get through the level. Epic Void champions. So there's plenty of great Epic Void champions. But this is the team that I went with. I used Sylar in a stun set, which is helpful. If you have Seer, Seer is really helpful because she's able to just rip the buffs off of them. Another potential option would be you could go with Umbral Enchantress and just do the block buffs, because again, so Sky Touch Shaman is doing her, she puts the revive on death and block debuffs up. So I was using Seer to kind of just strip that off and to do damage. But on my alt account, actually, I had to use Umbral to get through this. So she can be another good option for you. Main idea with this team is I've got all the healing and a little bit of crowd control and turn meter control with Sylar, and then all the damage is being done with Seer. Let's see, Secret Room 7. So this is Magic Support Champions. I broke Elva out. This is her maiden voyage here. Helped me get through this, which was nice. I slept on Archmage Helmut. I know he's great. So if most of you will have him if you're at this stage in Doom Tower. So he can be really, really helpful here. I need to build him. I just get caught up with all the other champions that I need to build. But so some of the MVPs here, I'd say Ugo, huge, 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 because then you're blocking the buffs that some of these guys are throwing out. Having Venomage is amazing for this because she's putting that heal reduction on everybody, so that way, because you get a couple of the I don't even know how to pronounce her, Cythalia. There's one of the waves, actually I think there's two of her, and she does that huge heal, and so having the heal reduction is helpful, and Gorgorob's healing as well. There's all sorts of healing. I think even Frostbringer brings heals out too. So having the heal reduction is really, really helpful. I used Kreela and Brogni. There's a few others that you might be able to use here. Let's just kind of go through. Obviously, Apothecary is a great champion. If you're having trouble, he's going to help in terms of just healing and making sure your team goes faster. So definitely not a bad option to use Apothecary. Gorgorab also, if you need a revive, he can be a great revive champion. Under Priest Brogni, I'm so glad that I did that fusion because he's so good in so much content, and this is no exception. He's probably the team, maybe not even the team MVP. Actually, I have to say team MVP is probably Venom Mage for this particular stage, though. Let's see, floor 8. Epic defense champions only. Again, this one I used Umbral here. I highly recommend going with Umbral Enchantress. If you've got her, she's going to be so helpful because part of the challenge with getting through this one is you've got all the continuous heals going on, and then Lightsworn's putting revive on death. So there's a lot of buffs coming up. Counterattack and shield with him, plus the continuous heal. So if you're able to block the buffs, then it's going to really help you get through this. Tayrel is amazing for this level specifically. I've been using him on my alt account for a long time now. I did not pull him on my main account until just recently, and I built him specifically just for this. Because he is an epic defense champion that has AoE drop defense. So you're going up against all defense-based champions, so having AoE drop defense is so, so critical. So him and Umbral's blocking all those continuous heals allows you to get through it. Oops. She's, what's her name? I'm totally Rearguard. Rearguard's another great champion for this because she's bringing ally protect. She's putting continuous heals out, and she has a drop defense on her A1, which is also helpful. And then we got Godseeker again, great champion, and then Skull Crusher as well, putting out the counterattack. So really, the idea here is I'm using their skills that are putting buffs on, and then I'm having Godseeker put extend that as well. And she's also helping to keep the team at full health. So the ally protect is helpful. I have 2 ally protects here, so if you're able to get these 2, they can really pair up together, so that way you can kind of alternate the ally protects, and no one of them is taking too much damage. Let's see. Yeah, another one of the rare ones. Knights Revenant. So epic champions from Knights Revenant. This is a real tough one, guys. This took several tries for me to get through. Actually, I don't have a ton of the great ones. I just pulled my first Skull Crown, and I haven't finished building Reaper yet. So I just went with the army I had, and I was able to get through it. Really, Sepulcher is great because you can just kind of target the ones that are going to do the most damage, especially the single target ones. I know, like in Arena, Skull Crown is kind of like one of those champions where it's like, yikes, how much damage is she going to do? But really, in Doom Tower, we're talking about this. The single target nukers are the worst ones because, like, you lose one person on your team, especially in one of the early waves. That's bad. And so what's her name, Whisperer, I think. Yeah, she does a lot of damage to any one target. So I would put the increased defense and so forth up with Sepulcher, but then I would be targeting her with the drop attacks just to kind of help me survive through it. I used Faceless just because he hits really hard. Again, it is single target. But then the idea is I'm dropping defense again with Felicia, using Doom Priest to kind of heal up. I'm using Miscreated Monster to put shields up, and be careful with his ally protect. I think I need to make mine a little bit stronger to really be able to use the ally protect because, man, with Skull Crown doing the AoEs and would bring him down too much, and then Whisper would finish him off. So I didn't use the Ally Protect very often. I had to kind of rely on the increased defense and so forth. And then number 11 is rank 6 Void Champions. This is actually, finding a team to do this is not that hard. If you have Lydia, she helps a ton because you've got all this revive stuff going on that she just is like, nope, not doing that today. Right? So like Raglan, I hate it going against Raglan, and even like you know, with Tormund, because he's automatically reviving, and so she blocks all that. Mithrala, again, if you can use Mithrala anywhere, she's amazing. Visix is also really helpful in that she's able to keep people provoked. So, you know, these three here are a great core team of Void champions, and then you could throw Arbiter in there. I ended up deciding to go with Godseeker instead, but honestly, you could do Arbiter as well. So this is an easy floor to get champions for. You know, again, especially having Lydia to block the revives is really helpful. All right, so that is it for this floor, for these floors. Again, we got rare magic champions. Not going to do it. I actually have a few of them at 60, but I just don't want to take the time to level one more and then maybe be able to get through it, you know, and then spend a ton of time manually through it. It's not worth it to me to get a few extra fragments. All right, so that's the video. I'm not going to go over the Doom Tower normal today. I might do that in another video at some point, but hopefully that gave you an idea on some champions that you can use for some of these secret rooms. All right, so let me know what champions you use for these secret rooms. If there's some champions, especially for the HP champions, please, if there's an easy way to get through that, let me know. Right now, I'm kind of at my wit's end with it, with just like, it takes way too long. So if there's a fast way to get through it, please let me know. All right, so thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you next time.